The 10th of May, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua, Behar.
Okay.
Hi, sorry about that.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, where are
I
we?
don't want to note you. I don't want to. Okay. We're up to Pasuk Yud, I believe. Pasuk. Yeah, we're up to Pasuk Yud.
Chapter?
Chapter 25.
I'm in the wrong book. That's okay. Chapter 25, Pasuk Yud.
Yeah.
V'kidashtem eis shnas achamishim shana uvrachtem
Kratem.
ukuratem
Krasem, right? Actually, it's
ukurasem duror ba'aretz l'chol yoshveha yovel hi tihiyeh lachem v'shavtem ish el achuzaso v'ish el mishpachto tashuvu. Okay, so the translation: you shall sanctify the 50th year, and you shall proclaim freedom in the land for all of its inhabitants. It is a Yovel for you, and you shall return a man.
each man.
Each man?
Each man to his
How do you see?
inherited property.
I see B'Shavtem Ish. What do you see each?
Well, because we said that's how you translate Shavtem, you shall return. Ish el achuzosai.
Okay.
That's what it means in the context. It's not
Each man to his inheritance, his heritage.
Right. His inherited property.
Mishpachto, and each man to his family you shall return.
You shall return.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Rashi says, the Kidashtem, you shall sanctify. Bich ni sasa, at the beginning.
Yeah, when the year begins, when it enters, the year enters.
Right. Mikadashim Oso Beves Din. They sanctify it in court.
Right. In the Besdin means in the Sanhedrin.
Right. And they say, V'omrim, and they say, Mikudeshes Hashana, the year is sanctified.
Right.
What does it mean they sanctify?
Well, that's exactly the point. Now she says they declare the Jubilee year to be a holy year. With regard to what? With regard to the land has to lie fallow. All the produce is holy. And as the pastor is going to go continue to tell us that all slaves, Jewish slaves, go back home, and all Jewish property goes back to its original owners.
So there's a sanctification procedure which consists of going to Beis Din and saying, this is the 50th year?
Right.
Okay. Uke Raftem Dror. And you shall claim freedom. La Vadim for servants. Bain Nirtza, whether he is one whose ear was bored, Bain Shalo Balu Lo Shesh Shanim, or whether his 6 years have not expired.
Mishenimkar, from the time he's been sold.
From the time he was sold. Mishenimkar.
From when he was sold. That's
So that only applies to the 6-year part of the sentence.
Right.
Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, Mahu Lashon Dror. What is the meaning of the term dror? Kim Dayer Be Daira. Let's see, is from one who dwells in a dwelling place. Shedar B'chol Makom Shehu Rotzeh, that he lives wherever he wants.
Okay.
No, the Reshus Acherim, and he's not under the authority of anybody, of others, of other people.
Right.
Oh, so he's telling us how the word derives from these other words, I guess.
Right. Means Rashi's saying that the root of the word dror mean freedom. We refer to freedom with respect to the fact that he now can go back to live wherever he wants. He's not under the jurisdiction of somebody else who's limiting to where he can live.
Yovel he. It is a Yovel. Shana Zos move Deles Mish Ar Shanim. This year is distinct from other years. Bin Uvas Shem La Levada. Through the giving of a name to it alone.
Right. Now, this year alone has been designated with this name. No other, in other words, there's no other year that has a specific name to it.
I'm sorry.
Only this year has that.
I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
Only this year has a specific name to it, whereas no other year does.
In other words, Yovel. The fact that it's called Yovel is
Right.
a distinguishing factor. Umashma, and what is the name? Yovel Shma. Yovel is its name. Al Shem to ki as shofar, on account of the blowing of the shofar.
Well, which is called Yovel. I actually mentioned that before. Where did Rashi say that? No, Rashi didn't say it before. Rashi says over here, we find the term Yovel used for Tkiya Shofar by Matan Torah. It says, B'mshoich haYovel heimo yalu Behar. Then they're permitted to go up to the mountain. Means after Matan Torah, once the Shekhinah had left, right, then there was a Yovel sound, there was a blowing of the shofar, and then the Jewish people were allowed to again go up the mountain. The prohibition about going up onto ascending the mountain was ended. Okay? So Rashi learns Yovel means the thing. It's interesting that the Ramban disagrees with Rashi's explanation of the word Yovel. He says it's a time of, how should I say, Yovel, comes from the same word as Hovala, movement. Right? Time for movement, people can move back or can move wherever they want. They're not limited to where they are. As Rashi said before, that's draw. Okay, but either way, it's interesting that according to Rashi, the whole name of name of the Jubilee year is on account of the Tkiya Shofar. Okay.
I have a footnote that says that the word Yovel, means ram's horn.
Correct. Means shofar.
Right.
As I said to you, so the shofar is referred to, and it's referring specifically, actually to, as the note points out, to a ram's horn. Shofar doesn't necessarily have to be a ram's horn. Right. We're noig to use a ram's horn because to remind us of the Kedas Yitzchak.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So V'shaftem ish el achuzaso. You should return each man to his ancestral heritage. Shehasados, for the fields, those ros leva lehen, return to their owners.
Right. Meaning somebody who has a property which he received from his ancestors, from his father, and he sells it to somebody else, the sale is only till Yovel. There's no permanent sale on it, in order that heritable property does not get lost I mean, let's say, give an example. Somebody from the Shevet Don would sell his field to somebody from Shevet Yisachar. Then if there wouldn't be this law of the heritable property going back to its original owner at Yovel, so eventually the properties in different tribes wouldn't be, in other words, maybe a lot of the property of the land of the tribe of Don, a lot of the land wouldn't necessarily belong to other tribes, could end up ending up belonging to other tribes, because the people sell their lands to members of other tribes.
Right.
Therefore, the Torah stipulated that even somebody may sell his property, but it's only for a limited amount of time till the coming Yovel. And once that Yovel comes, then the property goes back to its original owner. By the way, this translation of the word heritage, is that your translation? Or
yeah. No, it's not mine. It's the book's.
It's a little bit of an inaccuracy, because heritage is something like we have the Torah. Torah is our heritage. It's not something which is, how should I say it, financially, legally belonging to us as a piece of property, right? It's something which is it's something which has been handed down by tradition from father to son and etc. from generation to generation, but it's something which is not can be limited to a specific piece of property. It's something which is a tradition, how should I say it? It's a heritage. Heritage is something which is a certain style of education, form of it's a tradition handed down from generation to generation, the way Jewish people act, the way Jewish people behave. Okay, that's what a heritage is. Okay, whereas land is not described as heritage. Land is it's an inheritance. It's a heritable property. It's property which has been handed down from one generation to another generation. So I'm just pointing out that I'm not sure heritage is the right word being used. But anyway.
El mishpachto ta shuvu. And each man to his family shall return. Each man shall return to his family.
Right.
The rabos es hanirtza. So let's see. To include the one whose ear was bored.
Right.
I think that's it for 10.
No, so Rashi's pointing out the word toshuvu is redundant. It could just well say v'shavtem isha lachuzasei v'isha mishpachto. Why add the word toshuvu? You're repeating the verb. So Rashi says that is coming to include that even not somebody who's been sold shortly before Yovel, 6 years or less than 6 years before Yovel goes back, he goes back home at Yovel, but even somebody who has been sold, he was originally sold for 6 years, and then at came the 7th year, he opted to stay with his master, and the Torah says if he has his ear pierced, then he can stay with his master. So even that, however, till when can he stay with his master? Well, not forever. Even though the pasuk says "Va'avodo la'olam," he serves forever. Chazal understood that means to only till the Jubilee year, till the Yovel year, and that's derived from the extra word here, toshuva. The Rabbi says, Okay.
Okay. So
Pasuk Yud Aleph, yeah? Can you
Yovel
continue?
Hi, Shinas Hacha Mishim Shana Tiyeh Lochem Lo Siz Ra'u Velo Sik Tzeru Es Sefi Checha Velo Siv Tzeru Es Nizireha. So let's see. It is a Yovel. The 50th year. It will be for you. You shall not sow. You shall not harvest. It's aftergrowth. I guess that means what grows by itself.
Whatever grows by itself.
And you shall not pick what was set aside.
Means we had this before regarding Shemitah. You mustn't harvest to keep for yourself that which you've cordoned off, barred off from others.
What is the word nizireha?
Means what you've barred others from taking.
What you barred.
Lashon Nazir. Same Lashon as Nazir.
You barred. So, okay. I see. What you set aside for yourself. Okay. So, nizireha means to set aside or to bar.
Right.
To guard, I guess. Okay. Okay. Rashi. Yovel hi shinas ha-chamishim shana. It is a Yovel, the 50th year. Ma Talmud Lomar.
I mean, what's the pasuk adding over here?
Right. What is it teaching us with this statement? It already said it. It already said the Yovel 50th year. So actually, I think it said it twice. The fee Shinemar, since it says the Kidashtem Vigomer, you shall sanctify, etc. Kide Isa Kirosh
Rosh Hashanah.
Uve Toras Kohanim.
So he explains here in the Sifsei Chachamim. We must probably have a note over there. Explains what that is.
I do. I have a long note.
Okay.
But it's talking about the Toras Kohanim.
Okay, so I'll just explain it out what he says over here. I have it in the Sifsei Chachamim. Says it.
What is the first word? Kid Esau.
As stated.
Thank
as
you.
brought, more literally.
Okay. Go ahead.
There, the Gemara says, I might think in the same way as when the Jubilee comes in, right? Even though technically the actual declaration of the Jubilee year only happens on Yom Kippur, but the actual laws of Jubilee already apply from Rosh Hashanah. So, the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are like an some additional days to the actual year because the year itself only starts from Yom Kippur. So I might think that the year ends at Yom Kippur, the following year. So all the laws of the Jubilee year would apply till Yom Kippur.
I see.
Okay. So therefore the Torah tells you no. Only the actual 50th year itself will be for you as Yovel.
Got it.
Let me just check how I translated it. No. Just scroll through. Settings. Just the year period of the 50th year is to be the Jubilee year for you.
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
Just the year period of the 50th year is to be the Jubilee year for you.
Right. Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. So Nizireha, what was set aside of it? We said that when that meant bard. Navim ha mishumarim. The grapes that have been kept,
Guarded,
I guess, yeah. Aval botzer ata.
means that those are forbidden. That you must not harvest.
Right, because they're guarded.
Right.
But you can pick min ha muftarim from those that have been hefker, those have been ownerless. Kishem she ne'emar bash v'is. As it has been said about the seventh year. So just like the seventh year, the same rules apply. Kach ne'emar v'yovel. So it has been said about the Yovel year. Nimtzeu, it is found.
The result is nimtzu. It's like that's the way you used to say it in Hebrew. It's like a colloquial phrase to nimtzu. The result is shtei shonim.
Shtei shanim kidoshos. 2 years are holy. Semuchos zo lezo. One close to the other.
Means adjacent is going to be adjacent to each other. You're going to have 2 holy years.
Right.
Shtei shonim kadoshis. You're going to have 2 holy years. Smucha zu lezu, adjacent one to the other.
Shnas ha'arba'im v'seisha shemitah. The year of the 49th.
The 49th year.
49th year. Vatesha and the 9.
No. Shnas arba'im b'teisha. The 49th year.
The 49th year, Shemitah is Shemitah. 49th year is Shemitah. Ushnas hachamishim Yovel, and the 50th year is the Yovel. Okay, right. That makes sense. That was hard to read for some reason, but now it's obvious.
Okay. Very good. I think we'll stop here.
All right, Rabbi. Thank you.
Fine. Have a great day. Be well, Yechiel.
See ya.
Be well. Colton.
Bye-bye.